All right, guys, we are live again. Search for Uru. This time I have brother Bomani Tayimba with us, and we're just going to discuss how to travel to Africa. And the reason why we have to break it down and make it simple for you guys. I think I talked to a lot of people who have not traveled to Africa, and they try to make it very difficult. So we're just gonna, like I said, make it simple, simplify it, and make it easier. It's just such an easy process, but a lot of people like to make it more difficult than what it really is. So, brother Bomani, thank you for coming on this morning.
Absolutely, my brother. Greetings. How you feeling?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Before we jump in, brother Bomani, tell people what you do, because people need to know that, hey, if they, I guess, can't plan a trip for themselves, there's people like yourself with services that would do everything for them. All they have to do is just show up and meet you at the airport. Am I right or correct? Am I right or wrong?
Absolutely. We have everything organized from A to Z as far as getting you prepared to traveling and connecting to the African continent by means of preparation. So I want to go to an introduction of what I'm talking about, so people get a clarity. I'd say Ghana is a popular destination, and anyone can buy a ticket, go to Ghana, and connect with people, and people show them around. But the tour program that we have, we include conference call, we include networking, going through literally all of the preparation details, the packing, luggage, visas, saving your money, focusing on your journey, getting prepared by studying, focusing, and also connecting you with the different routes of how it works as far as flights. So some folks, if you're not familiar with traveling to Africa, there's different ways to get to the African continent. You have direct flights from New York to Ghana.
Mm-hmm.
You also have direct flights from New York to Togo, Ethiopian Airlines, and then you have your connections in Europe through to France, Paris, and also Amsterdam. That's Air France and KLM, and that will get you to Ghana. You have South African Airways, and so on. So when we structure a flight schedule, we structure it to where all of us meet together in one location, and we all get to Ghana. So you're literally connecting with people with the same mindset that's have an interest as you, and then from there on, we have a full itinerary that we take you around the country.
Okay, now there's an echo. You have on the screen. Oh, hold on. No, it's not me. Is that okay? There we go. All right, that's better. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I mean, what we want to do is demystify the, I guess, preparation or getting to Africa. I mean, and Bomani, let me ask you this: why do people make it? They make it seem okay. So why do they make the process as far as traveling to Africa more difficult? So difficult. All right, but when it's time to go to Europe or Asia, to them it's simple.
Yeah, sometimes people feel like they may have more services available to them to travel to countries like the Caribbean islands or Europe, and they may not feel like there's packages, there's services to get them to Africa. So. And it's not a popular journey for our brothers Africans in the diaspora. So what we're looking to do is making it popular by providing the services, because the more of these services and information that's out there, the clearer it is. Because people, as an African in the diaspora, you're gonna have some kind of, well, not all of us. Some people are gonna have some kind of notion that we have a link to Africa, and maybe I should think about going and things like that. But those things start pondering in your mind, and then based on what people see, then they continue. Like one of the big things is we have over 1,000 videos on YouTube. Those videos are just being around in different countries, Ghana, Ethiopia, Brazil, on a day-to-day basis based on our tours. And based on what you're seeing day-to-day, that give you clarity of how it feels and how it looks. So you're getting more of a visual sense. And then we're doing conference call where we go maybe 1 hour, 1.5 hour into from basic details to advanced details. And it kind of builds the mindset along where, you know, you get more conscious of traveling and listening, because now you know, now the more and more we go through the same details, the clearer it becomes. So I'm a person that believe in straight up this training and going through a process of running through the same information to a person over and over to where it becomes clear and simple. That way, when you get on a journey like this, you connect with other brothers and sisters, and then you're able to really enjoy your journey. Because a lot of times you're going to travel by yourself because your peers are going to say they're not down with that. So I try to lay out as much details as possible as far as the schedules, the details as far as on the website. And as far as our photos, you know, lots of photos on Facebook. I have all of the galleries, so you can look at the photos on a day-to-day basis on each tour, and then you just see what, you know, things physically look. So that's we're doing as best as possible to really just take it to a different level and share with you top-level documentation.
Okay. Now, somebody in the chat room, Michael said, now people who make it so difficult to travel to Africa but make it easy. Oh, did the brother step away?
Yeah, something for a few seconds.
Okay, all right, no problem. So the people who make it seem so difficult to travel to Africa, but make it seem so easy to travel to Europe and other places around the world. Are they making it difficult, or are they just trying to find an excuse to not go? What do you think?
I would say it's a combination of two things. Great question. There's that fear in the mindset based on all of the documentation people may have seen when they were younger, and all of the, you know, the insult as far as Africa or African people. So that's a psychological mindset. And then at the same time too, you're taught glorified history about how great all the European nations are and how they conquered the world and how they invented civilization, and then you know, throughout your life, you see these movies, Greece, Rome, France, England, and so on. And, you know, so some people develop a mindset. So if you don't replace that with the like consciousness as far as reading into African roots, culture, connecting with an environment like a conscious community, or being a part of study groups, you know, that's going to be a mentality. And I see it all the time, you know, when I'm around as an IT technician. I do business in different schools, different people's office, people homes, and, you know, sometimes I wear shirts like this, or I give, you know, my flyers out because I market both of my business, my IT service and Africa tour business, you know, together, you know, as an enterprise. And, you know, you present it to people, and some people are more open, but, you know, some people also appreciate the little bit of information that they're getting, because a lot of the times people are not conscious about people who have went to Africa, who enjoyed a great time, someone who's talking about living, doing business, someone who has investment in treasury bills and investments in land, investment in networking, and people have his own staff and crew there. It's a lot of things that you won't be aware of until someone like really to share it with you. So this Building Africa for the Africans tours and investment experience is just ground up and basically, you know, feeling that you have nowhere but to grow, because as long as you present yourself and you keep doing business at a high level, more and more people are going to open their minds, because this is by divine fate. A certain percentage of us, it's in our DNA to return to the African ancestral land, to either, even if it's just to tour, and then some of us, it's for us, our divine fate to return to our ancestral home to do nation building, live and do business, and also connect with our brothers and sisters in the local African country where we're going to. So it's something that, you know, with proper connection, it can open somebody's mind up to where they see that this is the best opportunity for them to live and do business in Africa, versus versus retiring and then, you know, burning off all their retirement here in America.
Okay, so you mentioned something as far as Africa not being a popular destination for a lot of Africans of the diaspora to travel to. But from what I noticed, when I travel to Africa, I see a lot of Europeans there, a lot, touring and going to the villages and all this other stuff. Why is it that with them, it seems like they have no problem going? Because I see more of them more than us, to be honest with you, more than the diaspora.
We have the most fascinating history and fascinating culture, and we have the most incredible countries where you have so many things you can enjoy as far as tourism, travel, and adventure, more than anywhere else that you can think of. I've been to 6 continents and over 30 countries, and the countries in Africa like Ghana, Ethiopia, they have too many things to offer, and that's why you have, and white folks know these things, and they appreciate the level of those things, and they appreciate the hospitality, the service, and then they see a way that they can make money. So it's it's divided along all lines. So it's a situation where based on where we were as a people 40, 50, 60 years ago, and the limitations of us traveling. So that's where you and I come in place, where we're boosting up travel, and we're showing people a living example of what it is to be in an African country, and how to connect to the spirituality, the culture, the roots, and so on.
Okay, so let's just get to the basics. Like, for someone who's interested in traveling to Africa,
right. Now
let's start off with passport and visa. As far as getting your visa, what's that process like? Let's just break it down and make it easy.
Let's start simple. The first thing before you get a visa for a country like Ghana, you must have a U.S. passport. And then we talk about U.S. since that's where base of most of the people deal with. So once you have your U.S. passport, and if you want to go before if you want to talk about passport, we can go a little bit before the visa if you want, because we talk about traveling. So I'll start off dealing with the passport.
That's fine.
Yeah. So for those who don't have a passport, the main thing is you have several different options. You have online options where you have a list of the different criteria, and most of the things you're going to need is your hardcore documentation, birth certificate, driver's license, and all your documentation to show where you live at, and because it's a serious process, so they're going to do a full check on you. So what you want to do is you want to go to the travelstate.gov website and print out all the details and apply for it. If you don't have one level of documentation, then you have access to another to make it work. So instead of going on into full details, but that's basically what people have to do. And then once you get all your documentation, you take it to your post office that process passport, and you send it out. And then once you get it back, then you're looking at applying for your Ghana visa. So now what we have is on our website, africaforafricans.org. Once you go on there, whatever tour you're looking at, say you're looking at the Ghana tour, you click on the Ghana link, you'll have a visa link on there. It will tell you to click on the link to print out applications. So you'll fill out one application, and then you sign and date it and make a copy of it. You'll get 2 passport size photos and staple one on one and staple one on the other one. You need to provide a flight itinerary. When you're traveling with us, we'll give you your flight schedule itinerary.
Okay, so
go ahead.
That go. Okay, whatever. So as far as getting your passport, there's a bad echo. Is one of the screens open on your end?
Let me close everything.
Hello. Okay, we're good. All right, so as far as getting the passport, now, I get a lot of brothers who reach out to me who say, hey, I want to go to Africa because I want to leave America, but they might be on probation, they might have a felony, they might owe child support. I don't know if you know, but if any of these situations, can you get a U.S. passport?
Yes, I'm familiar with it. For the most part, some of them you can, depends on the level of the situation, and some of them you can't. Hardcore felonies is a no. A whole lot of cash owing child support is a no passport. So unfortunately, there are unfair restrictions, but there's always a process to what you have to work out to get your passport. Even if they say you got to cut the child support down from a few thousand to 1,000. So those are things I've seen based on this research and reading details, based on people who call me and ask me these questions. And this, then you don't want to discourage anyone. You want to always let them know that they can't hold you as a prisoner in this country, because that's what they're doing if they do all these things. But it's what it is. It's, you know, that's one of the rough things about law. Once, you know, once a nation set things in law, then they can use that law to you know, to restrict you and imprison you. So unfortunately, some people won't be able to get it, but as far as the people that are able to get it, yeah. And then the ones who can't, I would say this: do your best to work whatever you have to work in the system. And if you get access to a lawyer, and see what you can do, because everything is somewhat reversible. The system, unfortunately, a lot of times wants some kind of money or some kind of cash,
Right.
which we have seen. That's how this nation of, you know, stay rich. You get charged for everything. So, you know, beyond that, you know, getting the, you know, once you have that passport ready based on whatever the situation, and you take care of that, then you know, you follow our details on the site, and you know, things like for Ghana visa, you have an option of a 3-month visa, which is $60, or you have an option of a visa that's for multi-entry, which is 1 to 5 years, and you can go unlimited. That visa is $100, so you just you just get a post office money order, put it in the package, and then put whatever few documents they need. And then the main thing about when you send out visas is you always want to put a prepaid return envelope with tracking in the package, and then have your outgoing tracking, to where you can track your package to the embassy or consulate, and then you have your tracking number. Once they finish and they scan it, you'll be able to track your package back. So these are the simple process to having that. And you know, and it takes literally 7 to 10 days, so a full 2 weeks, including the preparation to get your visa taken care of.
Absolutely. Now, one thing, the yellow fever vaccination. Now, I go on these a lot of Black travel groups on Facebook, and they will freak people out, because from my understanding, and I'm gonna play stupid even though I know the rules, all you need is a yellow fever card for the most part, especially if you're traveling to more than one African country. I think, from my understanding, if you're just going from America straight to Ghana, and if you don't plan on going to any other African countries, you might not even need a yellow fever, the yellow fever, the shot or whatever, or the card. But I just say get it just in case you plan on traveling to other African countries once you leave Ghana or leave an African country. You have people scaring people, saying that do not set foot in Africa unless you have yellow fever card, yellow fever shot, your malaria pills, tetanus, hepatitis A, B, C, D, E, F, and G shots, you know, AIDS shot, you know, dish caloric, all this other shot, flu shots. Can you tell people just what do they need specifically in order to enter African countries? And are they wasting money by getting all these different pills and shots and immunizations?
Yes, they're wasting our money. But yes, right now we have a current tour. It's 40 of us going to Ghana, Togo, and Benin. So you have to get 3 visas, and you also have to have a yellow fever card. Benin embassy wants you to send in a copy or send in the original yellow fever card with your visa application. Ghana and Togo just want you to show it at the point of entry. So that's the only thing that's required. And if you just feel that you just have to have some malaria pills, I guess you can do that. But let's tell people to follow protocol as far as just eating certain food, and don't just eat anywhere over any street or anywhere. Make sure you drink purified, clean, or bottled water, and just don't put a whole bunch of fragrance and things on yourself and draw mosquitoes towards you. Wear something more neutral, and then at night, I guess you can make sure you're covered as good as possible. But beyond that, you know, all those countries are fine. You have no problem. You don't even have to do that, because people ask me what I take and what I do. I tell them nothing. I tell them I'm from Jamaica, and it's like walking across the street when I'm going to Ghana, Togo, and Benin. It's right in the middle of the tropics. And you know, only the other thing I recommend everyone do is just stay hydrated and build their immune system at least 1 or 2 months before they leave, by just, you know, having a nice healthy diet, and just reduce as much junk, sweet, sugar, and you know, your usual poisons.
Okay, so now they get the visa, comes back from the embassy, says about 2 weeks, you know, in total time. You also have options where you could do a rush visa as well, but that costs more of a larger premium if you're like me and you just do everything last minute, which is going to cost you.
Yeah, that's a waste of money. So I just tell people that.
Yeah, because I got to get my visa. Yeah, I'm just last minute with everything, just unfortunately. Also, too, I want to say some countries you can either get a visa at the actual port of entry. So I know, like Senegal, if you have an American passport, you don't even have to pay for a visa; it's free. I want to say Kenya, Tanzania, you get one right at the airport. South Africa and Namibia, if you don't have a passport, I'm sorry, if you have an American passport, you don't need to pay for a visa. I think Ivory Coast, you get a visa at port of entry, but Ghana and Benin and Togo, you have to get it before you show up to the country, from my understanding. Well, I know with Benin, I got it before. I actually showed up. I got it. I sent my passport to the embassy in Washington, D.C. So you have that as well. So you got your passport, got your visa. You're looking for tickets now. Or usually now, another thing too, what people have to understand, before you even get a visa sometimes, you have to have your trip planned. Because they want to know where you're staying. Some of the questions, they want to know where you're staying in the actual country. Can you explain that? And like, how do you explain that to your clients that you take on the tours?
Absolutely. What I do is I have everything typed up on our visa requirements. People that's on there, that all of the visa required. The flight itinerary, we send everyone the flight itinerary, and then we have all of the hotels and everything on the tour itinerary. So literally, once you click on the tour link, you have 100% of everything that you need to complete all your visa process, and also be clear on the tour itself.
Okay. Perfect. Now, somebody who wants to travel alone, okay, or doesn't want to go part of a group, who's solo dolo. As far as buying the tickets, how would you recommend them buying a ticket to a specific country? Like, I get questions all the time, like literally, how do I buy a ticket to the country? And I'm like, the same way you buy a ticket to go to Europe. You just go on GoDaddy or Momondo. That's what I use, Momondo, because I get great deals on that site. How would you recommend someone to buy a ticket to actually go to a country in Africa?
Exactly. I can get them one website that's a good option is asaptickets.com. Say example, for the Ghana for the low, the best deal. You have a connection that takes you from the US to Istanbul on Turkish Airways, and then back. And then once you and back the same route, and it's a longer, and you have to overnight in Turkey, but it gives you the best deal possible. So that's one option. And then a lot of times I just use the airlines directly, Delta.com and so on.
Okay, because I know with me, the first time I went to Senegal, you got to tell people this. It's the cheapest to fly Turkish Airlines sometimes, but it's the most inconvenient, because I flew to Senegal from LA on Turkish Airlines. I had to fly from LA to Istanbul, which is like a 20-hour flight. Like, it was a long-ass flight. It was like maybe 16, 17 hours. Had an overnight layover, then from Istanbul back over to Dakar. Me personally, I tell people usually, if you fly out of New York or DC, that would probably be sometimes your less expensive route, and also your shortest route. Because like you said, you can fly direct from JFK to Ghana to Accra. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, and what I'll do is I'll give everyone a current quote based on the option. So like, right example, now if you're looking to leave with us and you wanted to leave directly from JFK to Accra, the quickest, shortest route, 10 hours, you're looking at about $1,400. If you're looking to take the Turkish Airways route, you're looking at about $800-900. And if you're looking to take what we usually do, like connect in Amsterdam, based on the convenience of the routes that we have to work across, because we have people coming from every single different region across the U.S. So you have to, so we route our flights through Delta KLM to get everybody to Amsterdam, and that way we can all get to Ghana the night on that same day from Amsterdam to Ghana, and that's going to run you a lot of times in around $1,200 or so. So a lot of times it's based on what you're willing to pay and based on the convenience you need. And that's just three of many different options out there, just to give people like prices and things. And when we package it, the deals work out best. And
I was gonna say, oh, go ahead.
Just trying to clear, make sure I have no feedback.
I was gonna say too. What was I gonna say? So yeah, because I know, like, in fact, you mentioned Togo. From Newark, New Jersey, you can fly Ethiopian Airlines direct to Lome, because that's what I'm doing in January.
Exactly, that's another option right there. So yeah, and you have so much more new options. As a matter of fact, that's a new route directly on Ethiopian Airways.
Yeah, so that's gonna be convenient. Also, too, with people, if you have good credit, you could do what I do as well, the credit card hustle, where you do the promotions like with Delta Airlines and Sky Miles, and first you spend a certain amount in the first 3 months, they'll give you like 65,000, 70,000 Sky Miles, and usually if you book it ahead of time and enough time, 65,000 miles. Because when I go to Ghana this year, I booked it with my Sky Miles, and it was just like 65,000 miles, and all I had to do is pay the taxes. So you have that option as well, if you're really disciplined with your credit or whatnot. So you get to Ghana, all right. Usually, I haven't been to Ghana yet. It'll be my first time in
Welcome to Ghana
in November, but. And this is my experience with some airports, or some it's more organized. Going through passport control. I know when I was in Benin, it was a cluster F. When I was in Tanzania, it was a cluster F. Some countries is more organized. How do you deal with that process? Because literally in Benin, just to go through passport control and how unorganized it was like I was in passport control like 3 hours almost. It was crazy. How do you coach your clients on, like, hey, it isn't like America sometime where you just kind of do your little entry form, and then you go in and the guys ask you a couple questions like, what are you doing, why are you coming here for, and where are you staying, and that's it. Like, how do you tell them, like, look, sometimes it could be a long wait? Do you prepare them for that? Or
yeah, we prepare people for everything, but the countries we go to, our flow and process is fine. We're in and out. Ghana, Ethiopia, Brazil was no problem. But I do understand what you're talking about, and yeah, we do have to let people know that at any moment things can be a little tight based on people traveling, and based on the amount of employment and based on the space. And Ghana, fortunately, has expanded their point of entry, and so when you come in now, there's a whole lot of visa lines, and the process go through. Baggage claim is open up, and then the walk down is new. So you have your money exchange. So that's not bad. Ethiopia is one of the countries visa on arrival. So myself, the tour that was being planned for us, the tickets and everything didn't get there on time. So I took that option. So that wasn't bad. I wasn't visa on arrival, and then the people at their visa, we basically got out at the same time too. So that was a smooth operation. So but the main thing is we make sure that people are clear and people have things organized, because once you have everything organized, when you start going through this process, it's nice and smooth. So it goes back to what I talk about. We spend a lot of time doing conference call every month and recording it, editing it, and sharing it. That way everyone can listen to it over and over, and let's be clear on the whole process. But it's once you have it clear in your mind, and then you have someone like myself that's well experienced, you're traveling with, that you can just follow. It just makes it life simpler. But yourself, as a seasoned traveler, you travel by yourself, and you have to let people know that just because you can do it like that, it's not going to be as simple. It may not be as simple for them, and that's why that's why it's recommended that they can just travel with an organized group.
Now, so you get to you go through passport control, you get transportation. Okay, so what can they expect? I know at a lot of these airports, the minute you walk out the airport, you got people bomb rushing you for SIM cards, currency exchange, how should they handle that process? Do you recommend somebody to get a SIM card at the airport off the street, or to, especially the money exchange? Should they exchange their money in the airport, or should they exchange it on the street?
When you first get in, if we have a very small group, like maybe if it's 5 to 10 people, I would say this: get your money exchange and your SIM card once you clear baggage claim. But not out on the street. Don't pull off to no one. When you get at the airport, take your bags, and you want to go full process to the bus, and we have security by us, and we tell people keep on going, because there's a lot of people. There's 40 of us, and then we have a big coach bus, and also we have like 2 other vans, and then we have several people that's going to be there. So once you get there, people are tired already, so we'll get everybody on the bus and we just get baggage loaded. But in Ethiopia, that process wasn't bad. Also, it was like they are expanding airport, but at the same time too, you and I have also been to some similar countries, but we also have been to different countries, and everything that we do is just tour aspects. So we have people and representation to make things smooth that we connect with from here to there. So but if people can handle it and travel alone, and it's no big deal, I would say I recommend folks do that. But other than that, we do like 9 and like 12, 13-day tours. Called a journey of a lifetime, where you get a little bit of everything: roots, culture, business, investment, nightlife, shopping, networking, and just a whole lot of this energy.
Yeah, I know with me, if I'm going to a country where I've never been before, I usually reach out to a small bed and breakfast, and then I'll arrange pickup and having somebody meet me at the airport, so they can kind of guide me through all the cluster once you leave the airport. Sometimes just to be, for some people it might be overwhelming. So I'll do that. So lodging. So you get on the bus, you go to the hotel. What kind of, it could be a vague question. What kind of hotel options or what kind of lodging options do you offer to your clients? Like me personally, I either stay with somebody I know, or if there's a new country, I'll stay at a very small, quaint bed and breakfast, nothing sexy. Or I go to the villages and I'll stay in the village, which I prefer, because I'm not really, when I go to Africa, I really don't do the big cities. I might stay a day or two, then I go out to the villages, to the countryside, or what they call the bush, and I'll stay out there. What kind of lodging options do you offer for your clients?
Yeah, all of the lodging options are 2 to 3 star hotels. They're African owned hotels, but bigger hotels, because you have a group of 30, 40 people. You need at least 15 to like 22 rooms. And then the main thing you're looking for is a home feel. You're looking to put yourself in an organized neighborhood. That way, when your travelers come into the country, they see the beauty of the country. They see civilized, so-called civilization going. And then when they get to the hotel, they feel relaxed, they feel at home, and you feel that you're welcome. So, and that's what we do for all of the hotels in our Ghana schedule. The one that we have so the hotel that we have in Ghana that we stay at is the Midland Hotel. We've been staying there the last several years. When we go to Kumasi, we stay at Noda Hotel. So after a period of time you use different hotels, you tend to find your way home. And both of them are a nice home feel, both owned by Ghanaian business groups. Then we go to Cape Coast Elmina. That's in, we stay at One Africa, and we stay at Almond Tree. These are resorts owned by Africans in the diaspora from New York, from Jamaica. And that gives you more of like a nice cultural home feel, where it's more like a bed and breakfast, but it's more like a community feel. So the tour feel that we give people, we don't want to give you a bunch of 5-star hotels. We give you a nice, nice feel, and then cap it off with you being at a resort, in paradise. And I feel like that enhances your journey. A lot of times you do these 5-star mega hotels, and you get lost out of reality. And I want my group of people that travel with us to understand that we're coming to Africa to embrace the culture, reconnect with our people, live, do business, build up. We can't put ourselves in a situation where we stay in our hotels that majority of our people are not going to afford or be around, and things like that. So just try to create a realistic environment based on what we're pushing. Other people may push something different, so that's why I always tell people, before you come on our tour, let's be clear that we push roots culture, Pan-Africanism, nation building, things to enhance and, because our goal is to be a part of the growth and contribution of development and of the future of Africa.
Okay. What people expect for these hotels? Like usually.
Yeah, what you're looking for, a general cost for hotel range is $50 to $100
a night.
A night, that's so you can get something nice in that range.
Okay. I think that there's an echo. Oh, the echo's gone. It's gone. Okay. All right. So when people when they come on the trip, what can they expect as far as destinations, what to do, where you're gonna go? Like what all do you nightlife? Here's another question. Do you allow your clients to travel out and venture out on their own when they travel with you, or do you take full responsibility and say, hey, you cannot leave, we all go as a group? Like, how does that work?
Perfect. Let's talk about that too. And like once again, other people do their tours different, and I'm not knocking other people who hold their folks in a hotel all day after they come in. But what we have is our nightlife that's usually organized by us, me and my crew. We'll take you wherever you want to go, but we're gonna watch your back and make sure you have a great time and make sure you get back safe. And we're gonna go out, but we also let people realize that we gotta get back up early in the morning, so we're not gonna be out 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, maybe at 11, 12, and so on. So it's not like heavy nightlife. We're really like socializing. But if people want to, for those who are clear on what they're looking to do, we can't hold them hostage, but they do have to take responsibility for themselves. Same thing when we do tour days and we out driving around. We have our tour bus ready, and it's a full day tour. Usually we leave about 8:30 and we come back about 5 o'clock. So, and that's time including, so that gives you enough time to have lunch. It gives you enough time to go to different sites like when we're in Accra, Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park, the Culture Center, W.E.B. Du Bois Center, George Padmore Library, and just our general city tour. All of that, including lunch, can be done in a full day. And then we have a business conference later on. So that's one of our full schedule. And then after that, we have social nightlife. So for those who want to keep going, they have a full schedule. For those who feel like they can't or they don't want to keep on going, they can just, after dinner, which is about 6 o'clock, they can just call it a night and just rest and relax and stay at the hotel. But what we do more than anything else is create options for people. And then say if you want to do some of your own things, we have different groups of people around us all the time that we can have someone escort you. So we try to build it up to where you're clear about what's going on, and then make it to where even on the free days, everybody go out on their own and do their own thing, because that's the only days we don't have transportation. So we set it to where you get a balanced experience. But it's some countries, some people may feel like it's dangerous, so they want their guests to stay in the hotel and so on. But in Ghana, it's a beautiful country. We just have to make sure that you're clear on protocol on how to move around and things like that before we just open things up to where you could just move around like that. So it's very protected with security.
Okay. And so usually 9 to 13 days, that's what they can expect as far as the length of a tour.
Exactly.
How are you able to give people the idea of the process or how you do it as far as to put this on and put this program together for them? Like, how's your process? What do you have to do? Maybe some of the challenges of just logistics of getting 40 different people on the same page.
Yeah, the first time I had a big group was my late 20s when I was it was October 2007. 10 years ago. I was 42 of us, and then now it's 40 of us. Well, the difference now is that I have multiple tours, and that was just that one tour. But what you do is the first thing is just you're writing a schedule, and then you're writing a schedule based on your knowledge of that country and where things are, and then you are recruiting your support, which is your tour guide, and the people at the hotel. You build certain relationship with them so they're clear on accommodations for your group. You find out what your group eat, and then you order bulk meal per day as far as buffet dinner based on everybody's diet. It's it's organization. So you type in everything in your spreadsheet, and you're typing in details as far as everybody route, because we have people traveling sometimes from 17 different or 20 different airports. So you have all the routes, and you have it worked out with your connections there at Delta Group Booking. and you're working with them and explaining to them what you're looking to get for a route and have them plan it for you. And you're talking to your tour guide about the bus route, how you want the bus to route to the country and the different sites you want to stop and see. So it's something that takes it takes time to develop that, and if you're not familiar with that, you have to get into it sometime. But my whole life and my work and my career has been around. I've been a technician all my life. From when I was in high school, I studied electrical and electronic installation and support. In military and Navy, I did aircraft maintenance, and from all the courses, all the work, all the process to fix and get things done, and all the logistic moves you have to make. And then work for the airlines, did aircraft maintenance, and it's the same process. You're doing technical work, so you have to study, read manuals, you're doing troubleshooting courses, you're plotting out ways how you're going to fix this aircraft. And now my modern career as an IT technician, building systems, building websites, it's all of that. Your mind is being built consistently to process schedules and how it works, and put logistics in flight schedule. When the flight comes, you got to have the bus arranged. You're leaving out of this day. You create a book and you type up the entire schedule and you share it with your group and you go through it over with them and get everybody on the same page. And I know it's not as simple as it sounds. It's just straight up work every day, and you're answering a lot of phone calls and emails, and you're being clear with the process of things. So through the period of time, once you get to the tour, everybody's clear, they're set, they're ready. And that's how we process the journey of a lifetime.
Okay, what should people not do, okay, when either traveling by themselves to Africa or traveling in a group? Like what have you experienced that people did that was just like, look, man, this is a no-no, do not do this, or I might have to just throw you off the tour, and to the point where I'll even refund you if you just go away? Like, what should they not do?
Yeah, loud outbursts. You're coming on a journey, you're around other people, be respectful of the people that are leading you and inviting you into the country and showing you the best time and making whatever necessary sacrifice to make sure that you're in good hands. And so making outbursts because you're upset about something, maybe your room wasn't as perfect as you thought it was. All of these things are respectful ways you can come to the organizers or my tour staff and talk to us, and we'll help you fix a problem. Every single problem we have ever had is fixable. The only thing we ask for people to do is to be respectable. So we're big on that. And I'm a straight up, military person who believe in, not just because I was in the Navy, but that's my mindset. Believe in protocol and order, and you follow directions, and you respect the people who are taking care of you and looking out for you. And we don't tolerate any disrespect or anybody treating us any kind of way, talking any kind of way. If we don't care how big they are, how popular they are, famous, anything, we expect everybody to be respectful, because it's it's something that we're sharing with our peers, our brothers and sisters. It's more than just a business. We're dedicating our life to give you the best experience in Africa, so you can be properly connected, guided, and protected, versus just because there's no system to say this is how you return to your ancestral land. So we built a system, and we expect that our people just treat us with love and respect. Or if they're not interested in following what we have, then they have other options of people to travel with. But yes, I've given people refund back in the middle of tour, not on the tour, because usually before we leave for the tour, based on the fact that they just think that this is what they think it is, and it's like respect. It's like we're serious about this. This is like nation building. This is life and death, and we can't have a bunch of spoiled people acting like children to where they feel like people are supposed to bend over and kiss them, and so on. So I lay things out on the website and say these are the details. I go through it and I answer questions, and I'm clear on things. And if I see a pattern of someone being a person that's just not respectful and not righteous, then we have to just respectfully just tell them that we can't accommodate you, and and then we'll just refund you back fully. But that really very happens, but it has happened. And because the biggest thing you're looking at, if that person come on your trip and be disrespectful to you and other people, it's going to cause a lot of problems. So we have an environment that's because we're about nation building, and Ghana is a very peaceful and respectful country, very cultural. You do have things that goes on just like other places, but it's embarrassing when you come and you show your face either at the counter and you feel like you can talk to the receptionist a certain way. So I tell people straight up that everyone you see that works there, I don't care if you see them mopping the floor or sweeping up or doing anything, there to be respected at the highest level as a human being, as a person, as your brother and sister. We're not on this thing where just because you're a director of a major corporation, because we have people come there with very high titles, engineers, scientists, doctors, lawyers, and things like that. And I respect their feeling in career work, just like I expect them to respect mine as an entrepreneur, a director, businessman, a technician, and other people who are people. You know, so we try to clear the energy of any kind of caste system and things like that. And that way, when you get there, brother, it's like family reunion. Do all of the hardcore work before you get to that process. So that's how we make it work.
So I'm gonna do my first group tour. Hopefully next year. I plan on taking people to Kilimanjaro.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah, it's just I usually don't do it because with me, it's a little sporadic and sometimes unorganized. Because there might be a schedule, but it doesn't mean I'm gonna necessarily stick to it. Because I might go do something else, and I just don't know if I can be responsible for 5 people with 5 different personalities. You know, that's my thing. I would probably travel with more seasoned people. Because again, like I said, I'm very sporadic. And as far as the arrangements, living arrangements, like I said, I'll go stay in a village where there's no electricity, just everything's ran off a generator, like when I go to Dogon country, and there's no showers and you're dumping buckets. And, yeah, and some people, and there's no toilet, there's the latrine, the hole in the ground. You know, and some people can't handle that.
That's right there already.
But that's how I get down when I go. So that's why not yet. I haven't really started. People ask, "Nice, we gonna do some tours?" I'm like, I don't know yet. But Kilimanjaro, I'm gonna do that. But it's literally meet me at the airport, meet me at Kilimanjaro. We're gonna go to Kilimanjaro. We're gonna go up the mountain. We're gonna come down, and then you're on your own. Like that's it. So it's gonna be a 4 to 5 day situation, and that's it. It's just one stop. So
in Tanzania, in Arusha, going to the national park.
Right, but see, you have all that, but again, I don't want to be, really responsible or, dealing with tons of personalities because, again, like when you go to the national park, like I did, we just had a tent, and again, it was pretty much a campsite. When I did Serengeti, Ngorongoro Crater, Lake Myanmar, I think that's how you say it. Like we would just get in the safari car, go to a campsite for the most part. You could definitely hear the hyenas and stuff. And they told you at nighttime, do not leave this site because there's wild animals on the other side of this fence. And then, there was literally like maybe 2 or 3 latrines and showers for we weren't the only people at the site. There was probably, 50 people. So, like I said, it was more like one of those luxury safaris. It would be different. People will probably want to come and I'll feel comfortable hosting them. But the way I do it is just straight basic. So that's why I haven't really been doing it. So in fact, next question, somebody who wants to get into what you do as far as offering a touring business and traveling and taking people with you, how does one get started?
Wow, that is a good question. Because this is kind of a process of many things. But to get started, I mean, you basically build some kind of level of experience in that country. Or if you can't, then you connect with a tour guide or a tour organizer like myself that's going to design a schedule of that country, who knows that country. And so that's a good start. And once you have the package, you can share it with your friends and family. Mm-hmm. And then if they're interested, you just let them know the cost and the process of how you're going to collect their payments. And then airlines and arrangement is done by people like myself or the tour guide or whoever you hire. So it's you just really have to reach out to somebody with experience at this moment where resources are out there. There's no need for you to just kind of try to reinvent the wheel and just go from just trying to figure it out on your own. People like myself, even something like I do professional services and consultation for a living. So even something like that, even if it's not computer systems and it's just someone looking to build a business like that, I would literally just work a session with them and explain the ins and outs, even the ins and outs as far as just getting business license and get their corporation, which is just basic paperwork, and then just maintaining that. It's just a simple process, but nevertheless, you have to just lay it out for them little by little. And they just have to be open and realistically deal with the fact that you're responsible for a whole lot of things that you don't have control of, unfortunately. So things go wrong at hotel, go wrong with flights, schedules, whatever, you're responsible for it. And always, people get mad at their ex-wife, you're responsible for it. It's just, when you're doing this kind of business, you're in the full-fledged of this where you become somebody where people may want to use you as a scapegoat because things are not going right. So you got to have the heart and the courage to be about your business and be firm and be clear. And the thing that people respect about us is every single thing is typed up nice on the website, and we have video documentation of every single thing that you're gonna do. Right. So so that helps a whole lot. So basically, what that does, that gets you all the right people and get you less people that don't need to be on that tour. Like like say example, if somebody was just a white person from Switzerland, they already know that it's say Africa for the Africans, and it's not but black people there, and that's not their zone. Right. So I don't ever get those kind of phone calls. I do get one or two people who think they're black, and just because they have a black wife or they have adopted black children, and you explain to them that the peers of people that are traveling, number one, they're gonna make you uncomfortable because I've listened to the conversations on the bus, and I've listened when people share certain things. You can't control what people are gonna say. I can't some people are straight this hardcore, and they'll just say. People curse all their life by the same people, so when they go to their jobs, they know they experience certain things. So when they're in an environment that their peers, they speak freely, so it's an environment. If a group of white folks want to come, I can put together a tour for them. This tour is just a dedication to my brothers and sisters from the African diaspora, just growing up in Jamaica and growing up in America, and then realizing that one of the things that we really need as a people is to reconnect to our roots and culture and really build our bond based on all of the hatred, the anger, the violence, and all the craziness that we deal with in African diaspora. So it's just a direct dedication. So they may not understand that, but what they can understand is that I can put together a tour package for them and make it work. My tour guide is ready throughout the year to accept any group of people. Mm-hmm. Now, me personally, my life is dedicated to recruit my brothers and sisters from the diaspora to come with me so I can connect them into a world where they can possibly live, do business, and be a part of the future of Africa.
That's awesome. Let's see if we got any questions in the
absolutely
in the chat room. Anybody have any questions in the chat room? Let's see here. No, a lot of people in the chat room, they appreciate what you're doing and what we're doing as far as creating a platform like the ones we have for people who are interested in traveling and connecting back to the continent. So Mimi, when I get to Tanzania, I'll hit you up. It won't be the next December 2018, but I'll make sure I'll reach out to you. Well, so it's let me see here. As far as when can people expect? I mean, as far as the packages, when can people expect to pay? I know you said you have payment plans as well, and also too, do people understand, that you're offering a service as well when it comes to the pricing? Like, do people try to, oh man, brother, that's too much, brother, that's too much, or do they understand? Like, look, you're paying for a service because you're going to a place you've never been to before. You have no clue how to navigate it, so obviously you have to pay for the service. Because I'm thinking, a lot of times, especially dealing with us and going back to Africa and the conscious community, a lot of people think, a service like you're offering is supposed to be free. How do you explain to them the pricing and why it's like that, and how much can they expect to pay for, a tour? I know you're leaving soon for Ghana, Togo, and Benin. Like, how much would that program cost?
That's perfect. The Ghana, Togo, and Benin package is a full 14 days program. That's airfare from the U.S., full accommodation there in Ghana, including transportation on a luxury tour bus similar to the size of a Greyhound bus and that's taking you around the country. And you have a full staff of people there that's going to accommodate you the whole time. It comes with your lodging and your breakfast, and gourmet dinner, and access entrance to all sites, business and investment conference. And then you have people that's going to be around, available to take you out and show you around. So it's going to build a cost, and you're there for 2 weeks. So the tour package is 3,600. Sorry, this one was 3,800 because of the multiple country. And what you do is you make a deposit. But if you make a deposit like earlier during the month of October, say, we'll offer you discounts of anywhere, a lot of times from $200 to $300 off. And then from there on, what you do, that just reduce your price. So you can just make an early deposit and then kind of pace yourself from there on. Right.
That's actually not bad. I mean, $3,600, 14-day tour, 3 different countries. That's not bad at all.
Absolutely.
That's not. In fact, I think you're undercharging, bro. I think you're under.
3 countries. We're able to package a deal based on our experience and knowledge of the field. So the more you do this business, the more you learn certain things, and the more you're able to really build to where you can literally, you can literally just make deals work better. So the next tours that we have is the 2018 tour is Ghana May, Brazil July, and Ethiopia with optional Tanzania. And the Ghana and the Brazil tour is 3,600.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then if you make commitments, the early commitments, which we have current deals off for October, then you can just take that deal and get $200 to $300 off. So you end up with a tour package of 3,300 or 3,400 by just making a commitment earlier and then pacing yourself. So these are the ways that we just make the package reasonable. And then for those who just want to come on later, they need to pay the full price and so on. So we just try to create as much flexible option, and then look to get information out early as possible, like at least over a year and if possible, and get people to just commit early and make payments on it. So it does work out better, and that's how you build a tour group, because it takes a while to get 40 people. You may get 5 people this month, 6 people next month, and so on, and that's how you build it.
Yeah, like I said, dude, that's not bad. Like the what you're offering as far as the tours and everything all inclusive, that's not bad at all. I mean, in my honest opinion. So, everybody in the chat, thank you for joining us today, especially on a Sunday at 12:45. I know some of you guys could be watching football and all that good stuff, watch people get CTE, but instead you guys decided to come and spend part of your Saturday afternoon with us, and I greatly appreciate it. Let's see here. I have an idea centered around helping African Americans invest property and land in Africa. I'm also located in Atlanta. Tiger Man, go ahead and send me an email, and I'll get you connected with Brother Bomani as well. But guys, thank you for coming on. Brother Bomani, you go ahead and close it out. Anything you want to share in closing, and also give people your contact information. I'll make sure I'll put it in the description box, but you have the floor.
Absolutely, family. Based on information I've shared, you have any interest in connecting with me, visit our website to check out our full details at africafortheafricans.org. All of our videos are on youtube.com/Bomani2007. All of the photo galleries are on facebook.com/Bomani. You can reach me directly at 404-931-9429. Email address afta2010@msn.com.
All right, perfect. And then also too, guys, search for Uhuru. If you guys have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. Please like the videos. Please share the videos. Also search for Uhuru. The tag name is the same for Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and Facebook. Also go to dynastamir.com, go to searchforuhuru.com, and then make sure you guys go to amazon.com and search your name, Dynast Amir, and please buy a book. People, thank you for coming on again. I hope you guys found value in this. No one else is doing what we're doing over here as far as the resources, as far as how to travel to Africa, how to do business in Africa, spotlighting Africa. No one's really doing this. So, I appreciate Brother Bomani, who's doing this full time. You know me, I'm still in corporate America, so you know I do what I can. I do what I can, but you definitely have to respect and support Brother Bomani, who is doing this full time. So definitely. But guys, thank you for hopping on. Till next time, I'll be back on later on today. I'm about to go hit the gym and go get something to eat. So till next time, search for Huru, the Kafatandan, Brother Bomani. Peace.